So I've basically tried every detachable Magsafe grip slash stand there is, so let's see how well they stack up. I'll rank them F to S tier, with S tier being the best of the best, the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop, and F tier being the absolute worst. Now of course, these are all my opinions, but I'll try to give good explanations for them too. First up, Anker. The 620 Mag-o grip is a very unique looking grip. It almost looks like an Apple Watch band, and it sort of feels like that too. Not big enough to fit on your wrist though, but with the magnets in the strap, you can customize the fit based on the way you like to use a grip. Both the magnets on the strap and the magnets for the connection to the iPhone are really strong and snappy. There's a slight texture on the inside of the band, but the middle part and the outside are really smooth silicone-ish material. You will mostly use this one slightly angled towards your support hand if you're using it with one hand. But you can of course use this one for a two-handed grip as well. It doesn't rotate on its base, but you can rotate the magnet and thus the grip. The unique feature on this one is that the magnets in the strap also work as a kind of gorilla pod, so that you can basically hang it up anywhere which is metal. You can also close the straps to use it as a horizontal stand. The only downside with this one is that it doesn't fold flat. At $19.99 though, I think this is an excellent grip. S tier. The second one from Anker is called the Mag-o. This one has a solid plastic base which really feels strong, with a metal ring inside which you can fold out. The magnetic strength is also on par with the Mag-o 620, so Anker really keeps things consistent. This one has a slimmer profile, because there are no straps to worry about. The ring can also be used as a horizontal stand, but like the other Anker grip, not as a vertical stand. The ring has a good strength to it, so it will definitely not fold in on itself. The downside here is that it can sometimes be a little finicky to get the ring out of the Magsafe base. The diameter of the ring is 2.7 centimeters. B tier. Mous has a very interesting Magsafe grip too. Unlike their cases, the logo isn't really visible from the outside, unless you fold it out completely. The ring used as a grip is a little smaller because it's 2.5 centimeters in diameter. The hinge also has a good strength to it and folds out without steps and holds its position very well. You can also use this grip as a horizontal or vertical stand, because you can extend the ring and turn the base. The top of the base is flat, making it ideal for if you have a big camera bump on your case, since some of these grips would otherwise not even fit. I think this one has a really comfortable grip, but sadly the middle isn't flat with the base, making it unstable and wobbly when you lay it flat on a table. Because of that same fact, it also sounds really cringy when you move it around on a table. B tier. Moving on to Encased with their Lolli Lockit, another one with a very unique design. This one isn't able to extend or do any fancy customization, but its grip is very comfortable due to its material, being silicone and plastic. It's also flexible, so it can bend a little. Its grip is comparable to the Popsocket, but this one wins the battle for sure as far as comfort goes. You can use this one as a horizontal stand, but sadly, if you wish to store it, you must detach it, since there is no way to make it flat. So this one will always take up space everywhere you go. The magnet strength is really good, so you won't ever have to worry. This one especially is also recommended for people who use two hands to support their phone with these grips, since there is tons of space for that here. But due to the fact that it's not foldable, I'll make it a A tier. Rhinoshield. I've previously seen their Grip Mini and Grip Max, and even though those were fine, when I compared them to my other Magsafe grips and stands, they quickly became my least used Magsafe accessory. But I still use those for videos to show Magsafe strength, because they do have very good magnets in them. Sadly though, after a year of usage for the channel, they became a hassle to me, since it's basically a thin plastic strap folded into each other to hold. If you grab it and pull, eventually you will pull the whole mechanism out. So when I saw they had a new one called the Grip O, I was naturally inclined to look at them. Sadly though, it's more of the same. just in a circle shape this time, instead of the bigger shapes they had before. This button on here isn't even a button at all, it's just their logo. It also acts as a hinge for the circle that pops out, which is supposed to be a fidget thing, but also functions as a pop-out vertical stand. It's therefore good as a vertical and a horizontal stand. It's relatively comfortable though, not better or worse than the previous versions. But with its features, it's still an upgrade. The plastic strap can be a little sharp from certain angles, but with regular use, you won't really notice that. It does fold flat, but a regular ring grip, like the one from Anker for example, still is thinner. But especially at the price point where it's at 30 USD, it's pretty steep. D tier. I feel like most of these have done an amazing job differentiating themselves, but this one especially is very unique. A strong base with a silicone strap on top, which is flexible so that you can be comfortable in many positions holding it. It folds really flat, but will still pop out when needed. This one is also very minimalistic, with very strong Magsafe magnets. Downside being is that you need to take it off while laying it flat, because otherwise it will wobble around everywhere. And it cannot be used as a stand, neither vertically nor horizontally. I can barely fit 2 fingers through the loop, but one is most comfortable. So for holding it with 2 hands, it's not the best option. The diameter of the loop is 3.6 centimeters. B tier. While I'm usually very positive about Ringke, here they really missed the boat. The idea is very good, something that looks like the Popsocket but is still different because it has a thin middle part. So there's more space to hold it, and while it does work, it cracks and makes noises at every opportunity. The soft silicone on top of the part you pop out is just a case around it, so you will feel the edges of that case while holding it too, and it will occasionally pop off the whole thing, which is not ideal. It's just regular plastic beneath it though, so nothing unrefined or sharp, but it's not as comfortable as just soft silicone. The grip is only usable as a horizontal stand. The base is really strong too, and it also features very strong magnets, but it just falls short of its competitors. E tier. Luckily though, this isn't the only Ringke grip there is. They also have this one, which is much better. It folds completely flat, making it easy to carry around. It has strong Magsafe magnets, and it has a hidden feature because you can extend the circle into another circle, making it both a vertical and a horizontal stand. Yet I can't help but notice that because of that design choice, the ring is sharp feeling and just not comfortable to use as a grip. It's also not easy to extend into the vertical stand because there isn't much room for your fingers to grab it. Therefore, it's more of a stand than a grip, and it's not good at either. D tier. So while talking about the Popsocket, how does it stack up against the rest? I think they really figured out their spot in this segment and cemented it. It's almost becoming a verb for the rest of the Magsafe grips out there, like saying, what kind of Popsocket is that, when talking about a regular Magsafe grip. And that's not without good reason. It folds very flat, has very good Magsafe strength, is customizable with all types of crazy designs, and it just feels good in the hand. Usable as a horizontal stand, and because of the thickness in the middle part, which sort of swells up, it's very easy to use as a grip. You can bend this piece here a little to use it more comfortable as a grip, or extend it fully to really hold onto it dearly. A very solid choice. There's even cases with these built in, but having reviewed those as well, I would always advise you to just get one that is detachable. S tier. I also got to take a look at Gear 4. It looked very unique with that plastic piece at the bottom of the ring, almost as if it would have had an advantage as a stand. Sadly though, it doesn't have any advantages as far as I'm concerned. It's barely usable as a vertical stand, since the only way to have it sit up vertical is to angle it in a way that it's prone to folding back in. So that doesn't really work. Maybe if you don't move or touch it, it will sometimes stay like that, but most of the time it will not. With an inner diameter of around 2.7 centimeters, it's on the bigger side, so it will be comfortable for most situations. although I found it not to be as comfortable to use it with just one finger as a support. Because of that plastic piece attached to the ring, there is also more room required in between your fingers when holding it, making it even less pleasant to use. It's really flat though, and it will fold completely into itself. Another negative here is that the magnet underside is a little slippery, which results into the magnet spinning a little onto the Magsafe magnets while using it, which further destroys its purpose. Awesome design, horrible product. E tier. Aulumu has two Magsafe stands/grips too, but done a little differently. You see, there's not really a ring on here, it's more of a stand, but you can still use it as a grip in the same way that the Popsocket is used when it's angled a little bit. It sort of then hangs onto your hand, which can be very comfortable too. Obviously usable as vertical but also as a horizontal stand, and it's strong enough to hold its position. So it's not just able to hold in one position while having it standing on your desk. Very strong Magsafe magnets, and it even has a little knife built into the stand, which is always convenient to have with you, but it's only usable as a box cutter though, since it's very small. Still, I ended up using this a lot as a box cutter or to get those plastic wraps off packages. If that's not enough for you, it also has a fidget toy built in, for those that are really into the ASMR. Available in white and black, in this awesome tech-ish design. That same awesome design, just like their cases. S tier. Torras also has a very good one. I also love the bright orange on this thing, just like the Apple Watch bands. A very simple design, but it works out. Very strong Magsafe, usable as a horizontal stand, but also as a vertical one with this outer ring that pops out. The orange silicone strap is used as the grip, which is very comfortable and fits well. Because it's flexible, you can also hold it exactly the way you intended, which is also awesome. And where with other grips I feel like it's only comfortable if you use it with your index finger or middle finger, here it's comfortable with every finger, and thus it can be used as a backup for falling too, rather than a grip to hold onto your phone, if that makes sense. Sometimes I just want to be sure that if my phone falls, I still got it. And this is the perfect choice for that. A downside though, being that the ring is very big, so for cases with bigger camera bumps, it can be an issue. Luckily though, it's the most outer ring that will get in the way, and not so much the magnets themselves. But still. S tier. Spigen also has grips. But first, this thing. The magnetic tripod. I'll include it in this list because it's a stand, but also because it can function as both. You see, it's magnetic on two sides, meaning that you can attach this one to your phone, which has really strong magnets, but then also use it again as a Magsafe spot. Charging won't work anymore obviously, but in this way you can always carry a stand and whatever Magsafe accessory you wish. Is best of both worlds. So in that way you can extend this Magsafe plate into the tripod, and you can also use a Spigen grip, like this one, which also doubles as a webcam holder. Since you can now use your iPhone as a webcam too, you can attach it to a thin screen like the one from your MacBook. My monitors are too thick, so it doesn't work. The grip itself is very functional. It's 2.2 centimeters in diameter, and you can lay it fully flat on your desk. You can set your phone horizontally on your desk with this grip, but not vertically. It's made from a strong plastic, but feels soft and not sharp at all. The grip itself has strong Magsafe magnets too, so it's another solid choice. B tier. Now Speck has two concepts combined into one, meaning you can use your phone as a webcam, use it as a grip, but also as a stand. But sadly, no extra Magsafe spot on the back of it. And you cannot use the webcam thing horizontally, meaning you can only hang your phone on your screen in a vertical way, which sort of defeats the purpose. If you try to hang it horizontally, the screen will be in front of the camera. The hinge on the grip feels really premium, with a nice click to it as well. You can rotate this grip to whatever position you want, but it locks in place at 12, 3, 6 and 9 o'clock. The hinge of this stand is stepless, meaning it will stop at any spot you set it to, and hold it as well. If you're done using the stand, it clicks back into place, making the whole thing a thin and comfortable attachment to your phone. The webcam part is once again really small though. It's only meant for this tiny part of the grip itself. The rest is meant for holding it into your hands. What I've noticed is that the grip is positioned a little too high for my middle finger. So to operate the screen the way I want, I can only use this one with my index finger. You can also use this grip as a vertical stand. B tier. The final webcam grip combination is the one from Belkin. You can use this as a grip and with that use it as a horizontal stand. The grip ring is very uncomfortable though, feels sharp with the shape of the metal. And that's funny to me because it looks much more premium than the other choices. But the ring is just not rounded enough, which is the issue. The webcam aspect works flawlessly though, in both vertical and horizontal placement. So if that's what you buy it for, it works exactly the same as the Spigen one. Both go for around the same price though, so in that case I would definitely go for the Spigen one, since those offer a comfortable grip with it too. And the magnets are also less powerful here than with the Spigen variant. D tier. Pitaka is here today too, with their Magsafe grip. This is one of the more simpler designs, with their aramid fiber on top and a metal ring that folds out. It's a horizontal stand along with its grip functionality, and it's good at both. Its base is made of a strong plastic and the magnets on there are once again very strong. The ring on there has a diameter of 2.6 centimeters. This one will function just as much as one of those other simpler grips out there. And there's no sharp edges on the ring either. Solid choice, just not something special. B tier. Baseus is another brand that chose to make a Magsafe grip. It's a full metal one, probably aluminium. It has that flat top on there too, so it will fit with all types of cases, even with the big camera bumps. It folds completely flat with a very thin profile. It's only a horizontal stand, so no secret rings inside rings present here. It does have a nice cutout to make it easy to grab the inner ring. As a grip, it's okay-ish to hold. Not really that great, and the inner ring has a diameter of 3.3 centimeters, making it a little too big for me to hold with one finger. But also making it perfect for people who prefer to use two hands to hold onto their phone grip. D tier. All the way from the USA, I did eventually get my hands on the clicker. Probably the most effort I've ever done to get my hands on a product. So because of that, I'm not sure if my expectations were high or that it just underperforms. But I feel like it's not that great. The magnets are really strong. Probably the strongest of the day, which inspires a lot of confidence in the grip itself. It's not going anywhere at all. The grip function is also really good. It's a very thin piece of plastic with a layer that looks to be synthetic leather. But if you would have told me it's carton with a piece of synthetic leather over it, I would have believed that too. Therefore, it's not a durable product. It reminds me a lot of those Rhinoshield grips. Although this one is better for sure. I also get that they want to keep it as thin as possible though, and they did achieve that. The clicking system is alright, but once again, it doesn't impress all that much. I must say that the angles on which it clicks are really good and feel strong, not flimsy at all. It's both a vertical and a horizontal stand, which works perfect. If they would have used better or more durable materials with this one, it would have scored a lot higher. But as it stands right now, B tier. Then Joyroom. The colors reminded me a lot of the Torras one we already covered, or maybe the other way around. They are also pretty similar. They both have a bigger ring around the Magsafe magnets, which you can fold out to be a stand. This one is therefore another one of those vertical and horizontal stands. Along with the grip functionality, the inner silicone ring has a diameter of 2.4 centimeters and works really well. It's also very comfortable. Thing is, that it sort of stretches out a little too much. They also tell you not to get the Magsafe grip off using that silicone part, because it would probably end up breaking. It doesn't look as strong as I hoped. The Torras one feels much stronger. Now, getting it off with the big ring instead of the small silicone ring isn't a big issue at all. But this is also your failsafe once your phone falls out of your hands. And I can imagine this being an issue over time. Its durability is therefore less than the Torras one, to which I keep comparing it since they look and work so similar. It does have very strong Magsafe magnets, so those won't be the issue when it fails. C tier. Then ESR. I must say the design of this thing looks really good. I love that white with silver details. And it feels like good quality too. You can extend this middle ring to make it into a vertical stand. And of course it's usable as a horizontal stand too. But here is the first negative. It doesn't fold completely flat because of the two middle rings. So for laying it down on a desk, you will always need to take it off. Or use the stand functionality, of course. The rings are relatively comfortable since they have a good rounding, and you can rotate the base, of course, to position it in a way you want. Definitely intended for one-handed usage though, since the ring is relatively small compared to some others. It's almost ovally shaped, and it's not sat in the middle of the ring because it's attached to the other one for the extension feature. I just cannot hold it comfortably and still use the screen at the same time. Because if I do, then my middle finger will barely hold on. Magnet strength is really good though. But it's just not enough. D tier. And then finally Rokform. They also have two models. One which only works with their cases, using the locking system that becomes visible once you detach the middle puck on their case. And one with the regular Magsafe. To make it more confusing, they both are called the Sport Ring. Yeah. Anyway, I really like the tough design on the non-Magsafe version, so I was stoked for that one. Sadly, it was not Magsafe. If you are planning on getting that one though, the ring has a diameter of 3.7 centimeters, so it's pretty big. It also does have magnets, but that's for hanging your phone onto something, not for Magsafe. Moving on to the one with Magsafe, I also really like this design. The serrated ring also looks tough and cool, in the same way that their cases are tough. Rokform used to have amazing magnets with awesome strength. Sadly, I'm here to deliver a little bit of bad news. The magnets aren't all that strong. It's alright though, not weak at all, just not something special either. I did expect a lot more though, so I was a bit disappointed here. You can use it as a vertical stand, but it's a little wobbly, probably not intended. The horizontal stand function works great. Once again though, the ring diameter is around 3.6 centimeters, so very big. Easy for holding it with two hands, but also works fine with one hand. Only comfortable to hold with your middle finger though, because of the big ring. It's also easy to grab because of the serration I mentioned earlier, so that's also a big plus. The greatest feature of this grip is the fact that it has Magsafe and Magsafe on the back. So you can combine accessories or use it to attach your phone to something metal here too. B tier. So what did you think about my choices? I hopefully covered most of the Magsafe grips / stands out there, but I'm sure there's ones I missed out on. Let me know if you have suggestions, stay tuned and subscribe for the upcoming Magsafe wallets tier list video and my final top 5 Magsafe grips video. Hope to see you there.